All right, friends. Happy Monday to you. I like to call it a moving forward Monday for jumping on in here. Gonna give some of you guys some time tapping that screen. But I appreciate y'all being here. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully you started this week off with that intention. I know this is a big time. This is our first Monday of the week, right? The first Monday of the year. Obviously the first Monday of the week, but it's the first Monday of the year. And I know a lot of us step into this week. Maybe you already have your plan, right? Maybe you have the plan that you're like, this is going to be the year that everything changes for me because I'm going to start to do things differently. Or maybe you're approaching it the same way, right? You set those goals, you have those ambitions, you have those intentions to make this year different. Well, I heard something super powerful today here in my leadership group that I had today, and I want to share that with you. I want to share that with you. So, if you come on in here, tap that screen. Let me know where you're from, and maybe shoot some of your goals down in here. Right? What are some of your goals for this year? Hey, welcome, Griffin. Welcome to live. Glad you're here, tapping that screen. Glad you guys are here. Happy moving forward Monday, as I like to call it. Right? And I think what's so powerful about Mondays is not only is it that benchmark of our week, but it's that day that we set our intention for, right? It's that day that we said, hey, this is going to be the year, this is going to be the month, this is going to be the day that I start my journey. And this is a lot of people started their fitness journey this month, right? Maybe gyms were packed, or maybe you set that fitness goal this year, or maybe this was that first day of the year and you feel already overwhelmed. Maybe you feel already overwhelmed, right? Maybe you feel lost. Maybe you feel like this isn't going to be the year, or maybe you're stepping in this year feeling like everything is going to be the same. But I want you to know this today, as we enter into this new year, this new month full of limitless opportunities and possibilities. I want to most importantly let you know that this can be the year that you change your life. And that's the power that you have today, because maybe you entered this year looking outside of yourself, hoping that this year would be different because you're going to have the support. And I wish I learned this sooner, that if I was really wanting to change my life, that it was going to be up to me. Hey, how's it going, Nick? Glad you're here. Hope you're having an amazing start to the year. But I want you to hear that today. When it comes to your goals and dreams, the change that you seek, your goals becoming a reality, is going to be up to you. And I believe when it really comes down to those goals and what we're looking to achieve this year, hey, Jesus does it all. Yes, I love that, Nick. Yes, Jesus does it all. Jesus does it all. But I think it still demands us to answer this question. Are we doing the work that it takes to achieve our goals? What do you think is the meaning of life? Well, man, that's a great question. It's a great question. Shoot, I'm gonna pin that and let people answer that. Oh, that's a great question. We'll pin that. We'll pin that. See people's comments there. But yeah, maybe you're entering this day right with wondering how this year can be different. And I heard something super powerful in my leadership group. It said the same part of your brain that you set goals with, the part of your brain that you set goals with, which is your conscious mind, we actually use a different part of our brain to achieve our goals. Alexa, volume 3. She's screaming over there. But I want you to hear that today. The part of your brain that you actually set your goals with is the opposite to the part that we use of our brain that achieves our goals, actually a separate part. And when I heard that, I was like, what? So you're telling me I use a whole different part of my brain that actually achieves my goals. And that part of the brain that we actually achieve our goals with is the subconscious mind. And I don't know if you were able to see our live that I did here with Molly Rapp. We're going to be actually doing one tomorrow, which is super awesome. I want you guys to join us. It's going to be at 1 p.m. tomorrow. I'm going to shoot that down in the comment sections. But we were talking about habits last week. And I really want you to think about, when it comes to your goals and dreams and those things you're looking to achieve, now that we realize that the part of our brain that actually sets the goal is different from the part of our brain that's going to achieve our goal, when it comes down to it, it's that subconscious mind. And when I think of the subconscious mind, I think about, what are those habits that you naturally do, right? I mean, when it comes to those things that you do subconsciously, what are those thoughts that you have when challenges come? How do you react when things don't go your way? Alexa, volume 2. But what do you do when things get hard, right? When things get challenging. Thank you so much for liking the live. I appreciate you tapping the screen. Thank you so much. WC chat, man. We're almost at freaking 300. Thank you guys for tapping the screen. I appreciate you. But I want you to hear that today. What are those habits? What are those secret habits? What are those habits that are no longer going to serve you this year? And thank you so much for the fan club. Thank you so much for the army. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Can I pin it? Can I pin it? I can. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for joining the fan club. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for joining the fan club. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But I really want to talk about that. When it comes to those habits, what are those things that you're really those habits are no longer going to serve you? I think we entered this year. Oh, thank you so much for the dog. Oh man, thank you so much for the gift. Appreciate you, friend. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Wow, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much. Oh, snap a rose. Thank you. Dang, it's still going. Dang, thank you so much for the roses. Snap. Whoa, 10. It's still going. Dang, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. 18 roses. Let's go. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. But when I really want you to think about your goals here as well is thank you so much for the love, man. Thank you so much. But those habits, I think we entered this year. Let's go. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for the roses. But I want you to really think about your goals this year. We're so focused every beginning of the year, right? Is everybody searching for the goal that's going to move them forward, to set goals, to something to achieve. But I think it's like when we set goals without having a firm foundation of what habits we're building off of, or maybe taking inventory of the habits that are no longer serving you, or maybe even just taking simple inventory of the habits that I'm going to need to achieve this goal, I think would be a great thing. See, I think we're so focused on goals and setting goals that we don't put enough emphasis on the habits it's going to take to get us there. And I want you to think about your goals. Have you learned I've learned my mind. Yes, that happens all the time. Yeah, your mind does quit. But he was my friend right here is saying sometimes their mind quits before their body does. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that. I have learned my mind quits before my body does when I work out. Yeah, and I run and work out, and that's so true. But I love the fact that you said that because we all find ourselves in those challenging times. And I believe that when we run into those obstacles, that's what's so important about having the habit, right? Because we can set a goal, but when our habits are who we are, right? Our habits are, like you said, my mind wants to give up on me in the middle of that workout, but I have already established this habit of working out. So I'm not fighting against the current, right? And I think many times we set these goals and we don't have the habits to achieve them. So we're always finding ourselves burnt out and wondering why we can't achieve it and why your year feels like you're running on that hamster wheel, right? Because we're running on you're running against the current when your habits aren't in line with your goals. I want you to hear that today. When your habits aren't in line with the things that you're looking to achieve, the daily actions you take, the decisions you make each and every day, when those aren't in line with the goal, you're in an uphill battle. And maybe you find yourself in that part of the year, right? We're just starting this year. Maybe you're already feeling burnt out because you're like, Sam, I started my goal last week and you felt like you were just fighting tooth and nail just to get started. And I really want you to look at your habits this year. See, I like to say, don't worry about setting habits. I would take more inventory on my non-negotiables. Set some of those non-negotiables this year. I think it's a more powerful thing you can do for yourself. Set some of those non-negotiables, some of those things you said, I'm no longer going to do that because I realize it doesn't serve me. Or most importantly, I'm no longer going to do that because it's not pushing me forward into the direction that I want my life to go. And I think it's a powerful moment in your life when you realize that that's simply the power that you have today, that you get to make each and every day. And that's the opportunity that each day brings to us. Each day gives us that opportunity to say, hey, I'm either going to step towards my goal or I'm going to allow the distractions, the the opinions or the fears of others to pull me back. But see, this year can be different. And maybe you're wondering, how, Sam, can this year be different? Is because I think what I want you to really enter this year in when it comes to our goals and the things we're looking to achieve is I first want you to give yourself some grace. I think many of us, maybe like for me, for a long time, when I realized I was setting goals, but I wasn't letting go of the past. I wasn't letting go of the past mistakes. I wasn't letting go of the past failures. So what I was doing, I was building off of a negative foundation, right? See, I think it's so easy to do that. And I want you to realize that it's so easy to hold on to the negative situations that have happened to us because that's a human thing, right? I mean, think about it. We're bombarded every day by negativity. We are either going to complain about the weather regardless of how it's like, right? And that negativity is what kind of carries us, right? So we start building off of a negative feed loop, right? You think about like, man, I things didn't work out for me last year. So you're just continually building off of your old limitations and expectations of last year. But I think that the main goal I want you to hear this today is that it's time to start letting go of the past in order to push forward towards your future. Because see, many of us are holding on to failures, doubts, limitations of others, and still trying to push forward, and you're wondering why you keep getting burnt out. But you don't see the elephant you're carrying on your back, right? You don't see that elephant that you're carrying on your back. You don't see the past fears, the past doubts, the past limitations that you're letting hold you back. What's up? The wizard, Abe. How's it going, friend? Good seeing you. Glad you're here, friend. But I want you to hear that today. That you no longer have to let the fears of the past hold you back. You no longer have to let your failures hold you back. You no longer have to let the things that just didn't work hold you back. But you can decide that this will be the year that things are different because I'm going to let go of the past and I'm going to step into my future. And maybe you're wondering, like, Sam, how can I let go of my past? It's really tough. It was really hard. And I think it's about really having clarity, understanding, and giving yourself grace. I think the first person you're going to have to forgive is yourself. Many times I find myself in challenges, right? And it's easy to point the fingers, but I want you to give yourself some grace this year on the things you didn't know. I want you to hear that today. It's time to forgive yourself for the things you didn't know, the mistakes that you made, and it's time to let go. Because many of us are trying to grow, like I talked about, with the elephant on your back. And you're wondering why you feel so exhausted each and every day. And why everything seems so tough, why change seems like it's not even possible for you. But I want you to hear this today that, your past doesn't have to dictate your future. I want to repeat that again to really allow that to sink in. Your past doesn't have to dictate your future. But the most important thing that here is that you can change. Isn't that powerful? Like, when you realize that this right here, that you can change, that you have the power to change, big time facts. Thank you so much, the Wizard Abe. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yes. Yeah, you can change. And that's a gift that you can give yourself. I think that was a hard part for me for a long time as I was looking for that grace from everyone else besides myself, right? And maybe you're in a situation like I was, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find that grace outside of me. But I want you to realize that when you start to take that power back, when you start to take that ownership, when you start to give yourself that grace, see, I heard something super powerful here recently. It said, you can't give what you don't have. And it really hit me because I really had to let that sink in. See, maybe you've been looking for love, looking for joy, looking for peace outside of you. And so we've been looking for people for things that, and hoping that they could give us something. They don't have it. I want you to hear that today. That you can't give what you don't have. And you can't expect others to give you something that they don't have. So what if you made this the year, well, where if I'm looking for love, I'm gonna have to give myself love first, right? If I'm looking for love, I'm gonna have to give myself love first. If I'm looking for more joy, how can I get more joy so then I can give it to others? See, I think that many times that when we're looking for something, we're taught that the first person to look for is outside of us. But what if this was the year you started to create those things for yourself? Not just for yourself, but realizing that as you build these things for yourself, you actually build them for everybody else. That you can be that wellspring of life that you're looking for. But that real change that you seek this year is going to start with you. And I hope that excites you, because maybe I really want you to hear this today, that you are the one that you've been waiting for. I need you to hear that today, because maybe you've been waiting for the hero. Maybe you've been waiting for the opportunity. Maybe you've been waiting to be seen. Maybe you've been waiting to be loved. Maybe you've been waiting. But I want you to hear this, that you are the one you've been waiting for. And that's a powerful statement there, because I think it really allows us to not look outside of ourselves, but start to look within, right? Realizing that the things that I need to first give them to myself. I want you to hear that today. It's time to start giving that to yourself. That love that you've been seeking, it's time to start giving that love to yourself. See, I think many of us are carrying, like I said, that elephant on our back, looking to move forward and wondering why life feels heavy. And I believe it's time to start lightening the load off your back. Starting to give yourself more grace. Give yourself more love. Forgive yourself for the things you didn't know. And that's how you're going to grow. I want you to hear that today. That as you forgive yourself, that's where the growth lies. But most importantly, that growth starts with you. That's the power you have. See, like I said, you are the one you've been waiting for this entire time. And I hope you make this that year. The year where you decide to not only take your power back, but it's the year that you decide that you're going to be the one that empowers others. Because you're going to be the one that brings the energy. You're going to be the one that brings the joy. But you're going to be the one that does the work. I think it's so easy to look outside of ourselves for the quick fixes and the life hacks. But at the end of the day, you're the hero of the show. And I want you to look at your life like a movie, right? Each day is an opportunity to write the script by the choices you make and the actions you take. And when you really embrace life like that you are the creator, one of my favorite movies is the Lego movie. And I mean, man, it's such a, okay, number one, because I love Legos. Okay, I love Legos. But I really love that story because I think that we can all identify with that guy who is just part, a cog on the wheel, we would call it, right? We all see ourselves as the worker. But I need you to understand that you are this special. You are the master builder of your life. You are the only person that can get you to where you want to be. And when you step into each day with that power that, like, man, I can create my life, what can truly hold you back? And I think the scariest thing that I had to realize is the biggest limiting factor in my life has always been me. I need you to hear that today. That the biggest limiting factor in your life, honestly, sometimes if we're born with different limiting factors, but not physically, but I'm talking like mentally, emotionally, physically. The people who are limiting you is you, most of the time. And what if you made this the year where you took that power back, where you stopped giving that power to others, but you decide that I'll take that power. I'll start making those decisions. I'll start taking the next right action. But most importantly, I'll start believing in me again. Realizing that starts with you. Right? Isn't that powerful? That this can be the year that things are different because you choose for them to be different. And that's all it takes. But the choices you make, the actions you take, this can be the year that things change, but it starts with you. And it starts with you building the right habits. See, I want to say something so powerful here. My friend Molly was talking about. She was talking about we are limited by the vision we have for ourselves. Dang, what I thought, Mike. Thank you guys so much for tapping that screen. Appreciate y'all so much. I want you to hear that today. You cannot outgrow the vision you have for yourself. See, where you are right now is exactly where you decided to be. I want you to let that sink in. That was a hard apple to peel to swallow when I heard that. You are exactly where you decided to be. Ooh, wow. It's a rough one, right? You really can't hide because the person you've been hiding from is yourself. The person you've been limiting is yourself. So if you find yourself in a place you don't want to be, I need you to understand that today, it's up to me. It's up to me to change my life. It's up to me to do the work. It's up to me to believe. But I hope that excites you because maybe you felt stuck. Maybe you feel afraid. Maybe you feel like things can't get any better than this. But they can. But it's up to you. So it's time to increase the vision you have for your life. And how can we do that? How can you increase the vision you have for your life? One of my favorite tools has been for me, which has really been a game changer, is, it's funny because as in school, I hated books, okay? You wanted me to read a book about a mouse riding a motorcycle? Not going to like it, okay? I'm not going to lie. I was never big into reading. But journaling, not diary, okay? I'm talking journaling. Journaling, which I like to call this being the author of your life, right? It's just like you have your goal. I looked at my goal each and every day. I wouldn't even be on this live if I didn't do like 2 years of journaling before this. I was like, man, I want to be a speaker. And I realized, like, you know what? Hey, I don't have a stage, but I do have a mic and a pen and a pad. And I want you to start looking at each day as an opportunity to write the script of your life. So what I would do is I'd wake up every morning. I knew what I wanted, and I'd write it down. See, like I said, that drills it into your subconscious mind, like the 2 things we learned today, right? We learned that the part of the brain that we set our goals with is different from the part of the brain that we actually are going to achieve our goals with. See, our conscious mind is where we set our goals. Our subconscious mind is what we achieve our goals. And that subconscious mind is where your habits are, your daily actions, the things you would do no matter what. You know those times you're driving on the road and you wake up and you're like, how did I get here? That's your subconscious mind. You've already programmed it that I'm going to take a left here, I'm going to take a right here, and it just takes over. You're on autopilot. And many of us are on autopilot of things that aren't serving our goals. I need you to hear that today. Many of us are on autopilot of things that aren't serving our goals, but we're expected to get to the desired destination. Now, you would probably call that insanity, right? That's like giving your Uber driver a blindfold and saying, hey, get to this point. And that's how many of us are going towards our goals, right? We're trying to achieve these big goals, these big dreams on a blindfold because our habits are in line with our goals. And we're wondering why we're fighting against the current, feeling exhausted and feeling like we're uphill battle. And then at the end of the month, you feel like this goal isn't for me. But if you're looking to make this year different, it's time to start building a foundation in the right direction, having our habits in line with our goals, realizing that it's time to start not only just planning, but doing the work, right? So it's time to really start to focus on what habits. So I think it's a great time of this week as we set our goals and our intentions. We got to start looking at our habits, take that introspection, right? Start to really look at like what habits. Like, write all your habits down. What are the things that you do? And it's a good time. Maybe you look at your schedule. Maybe you have a fixed habit of, I do this here, I do that here. It's time to really identify the habits that you have, right? So I want you to write your goals down on this side of the piece of paper. And then I want you to write all your habits down. That'd be a great exercise right there. Just having a simple piece of paper. On one half of the paper, I want to write my goals down. And then the other half of my paper, I want to write all the habits I have. And then I want you to see, are any of these habits, what habits are any of these habits going to in line get me to these goals over here? And if I can look at this sheet initially, and I know you, and I know you know, I know that we can both look at things and realize what's not going to get us there. And it's going to be a scary thing because you're going to realize that a lot of these things are just white noise. A lot of these things aren't really moving the needle forward. And I heard something super powerful today. It says, efficiency doesn't equal effectiveness. And that really hit me. God is good and love him with you. Yes, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. We got to pin that. We got to put it. Yeah, he is. God, he is good. God is good. I agree. Amen. But hey, I want you to hear that today. I need you to hear that, friends. I really want you to hear this. That efficiency. I'm so sorry I haven't been joined for a while. Hey, dog man, no worries, friend. You know what? This is my first time in a long time, so I appreciate you even being here. I appreciate you being here. I'm gonna try to do my goal. My goal is to do every day, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. at least. That's my goal. So I appreciate you even being here, man. I mean, I didn't even tell you or anybody. I just said this year I'm gonna try to do, I didn't start the first day, so I can't say 365 days of live, but I'm gonna try to go every day, Monday through Friday at least. I'll probably pop up on Saturdays, but I'm gonna try to get back on this live train. It's been fun. A lot of things came up in the year, and hey, let's just get back to it. It's a new year. It's a new year. It's a new year. So thank you, man, for being here, dog, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, I want you to hear that, friends. That efficiency doesn't equal effectiveness. Isn't that crazy? Like when I heard that in our business meeting today, I was like, but everybody sells efficiency. Like, how can you efficiently do this? Like, efficiency is supposed to be quick, fast, effective. But I think many times we find ourselves efficiently being busy, right? And not really effectively achieving our goal, or being so effective in all these other areas, but not in the right direction that we're trying to go. And I realized like that's where I found myself. Hey, Brenda, welcome to live. Glad you're here. I found myself effectively ineffective. I was so efficiently ineffective. I was so efficiently busy on so many things. I found myself so efficient in so many areas, but not effective in the right direction of where my business was going to go. And maybe you find yourself like that last year. I had to realize that was a big shock for me. I was like, I was efficiently ineffective last year on a lot of areas. And that is the thing I had to change. You can manage AI summaries and settings. Oh, I didn't even know that. But hey, welcome to live. Glad you're here, friend. Tapping that screen. Appreciate you being here. But yes, we're just talking about making this year matter. And I need you to understand that if you haven't heard anything here, I just need you to know you are the one that you've been waiting for this year. That you have the power to change your life this year. That you have the power to change the trajectory of your life. It starts to not stop looking outside of ourselves, but start to look within. Because see, the foundation is you. You are the foundation that your goals are built off of. And like I said earlier, I mean, it was a scary thing when I heard like I am where I'm at because I decided to be there. It was scary, Braden, and exciting at the same time. It was scary and exciting because I was like, man, I have to be honest. I wasn't where I wanted to be. I'm not where I want to be. I want to be, a little further along. I'm trusting the process here, like everybody else. But I realized that this is where I decided to be by the actions I've taken and the decisions I've made. And I want you to really look at that this year. Like, what actions can I take to really push me forward? What actions can I take to be more effective? What actions can I take that really matter? I want you. What if you made this that year? That's what I'm looking to do. I'm willing to make this the year where I do what really matters. And I want you to ask yourself about this year or last year. How many things did you do that really mattered? How many things did you do that really mattered this last year? I'm so sorry. But I want you to know that this can be the day that you make a new decision, right? That this year doesn't have to be like last year. This can be the year that things change because you decide to change. This can be the year that things you grow. But this can be the year, most importantly, that you remember who you are. Right? Isn't that powerful that this can be the year that things change? And that's up to you. That's what you have the power to do. And I hope that excites you because it excites me too. It excites me. Realize that, I don't have to look so much far outside of me. I just really had to change the foundation that I've been building off of. So I appreciate you guys being here. Hey, you guys, I am going to be live every day. This is my first day, so I did 30 minutes, okay? Alive is 30 minutes, guys. I'm just saying. I'm trying to get to an hour. My goal is to get to 9 to 10. 9 to 10. But hey, you got to start somewhere. And I want you to hear that same thing because this is my first live of the year. First live of the year. 31 minutes. Proud of myself. Pat myself on the back. I hope you're doing that same thing on your goals, right? That little step you took, I need you to understand, Dylan, it mattered today. It mattered. That step you took today mattered. That decision to show up today, it mattered. So I need you to understand that today, that you matter. You matter. Your goals matter, Jake. Your dreams matter. And that this can be the year that things change if you're willing to believe in you again. And I hope you give yourself that gift. You give yourself that gift of belief because, man, I'm going to tell you, it's the greatest decision I ever gave. I gave myself last year. It's a decision to start to believe in myself again. I think it was a hard place to find myself, but I'm glad I did, right? Because now I can sit here and forgive myself for not believing that it was possible for me. So, all right, friends, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Sangwar, and thank you all so much for the gifts, the time you stayed here, whether it was a minute or a second. But hey, guys, see you tomorrow for round 2. But hey, if you guys want to join me and Molly Roth, are going to be jumping on live talking about obstacles at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So that's on my if you could follow me, I guess. Follow me here. I'm trying to figure out if I'll be able to do this on TikTok. I don't know. Let me see. Let me just see. I don't know. I don't know. All right, friends. I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all so much. Woo! Oh! Look at this. Look at this cool thing I found here. Let me figure it out. Let's get off of those. We want style, maybe. All right, friends. Gonna go out with a